Well guys, today we're going to give a sample on a single line graph. We're going to talk about the steps and the language that you need to use in order to describe the information on the line graph. Here we have the question. The graph shows the percentages of the use of dietary supplements by children between January and December. Write a 150-word report describing the information on the graph. As opposed to describing multiple line graphs, here we're going to focus on the changes on the one line graph. So we're going to count the changes or the color coded changes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 changes. In the x-axis we have percentages, and the y-axis we have a period of 1 year. It's important to identify the numbers here and the periods in the y-axis. The first change we're going to talk about is from January to March. From January to March. What happened to the use of dietary supplements by children between January and March? We can see that, or we cannot see a significant change in the percentages. So basically we can say from January to March, the percentages of children using supplements remained fairly static or fairly steady. Basically, you can choose any of the words here to describe this change at approximately 10%. So the first step is to talk about the change, and the second step is to talk about the type of change. Alternatively, you can use any of those sentences to say the same exact thing. For example, the percentages or the percentage of children taking dietary supplements was relatively stable during the first 2 months of the year. So here we said the first 2 months instead of saying from January to March. It means the same thing, and you can use it either way. Here we can see a slight decrease and then a fluctuation. So the words you can use: fall as a noun, fell, fallen as verbs; decrease as a noun, decreased as verbs. Same with other words here. Then this is the change, and this is the type of change. We have slight or slightly, steady or steadily, gradual or gradually, to describe the change that happened in this area. So basically we can say in March there was a significant decrease in the use of dietary supplements. You can also say it in another way: the graph shows a slight decrease in March. We use the word fluctuate as a verb or fluctuation as a noun to describe the changes that happen in this area. So what kind of change? Fluctuation. What type of fluctuation? It's a wild fluctuation. Or we can say the percentages fluctuated widely over the next 2 months. After you express the slight decrease in March, you say over the next 2 months, or in the following 2 months, the percentages fluctuated, and you can also report the numbers. Looking at the red here, what kind of change do you see? Or what is the change that you see? It's an increase. What kind of an increase? It's a significant increase. It's not a slight decrease, but it's a significant increase. If you want to use a noun, you can say rise, or increase, or grow, or climb, or you can use them as verbs: rose, risen, grow, grew, grown, and climbed. What type of increase we said? It's a dramatic, sharp, significant, or rapid increase. You can also use them as adverbs. For example, we can say there was a significant increase in the percentage of children taking dietary supplements between June and August. So try to show the examiner that you understand what these numbers stand for, and they stand for the children using dietary supplements. We can also say the period between June and August saw a dramatic growth in the use of dietary supplements. Or between June and August, the percentage of children taking dietary supplements shot up dramatically. And you can use the last sentence: the greatest rise was from June to August, when it rose by 22% for 2 consecutive months from June to August. So you can also do some mathematics while describing the information on the line graph. This spot here, which looks like a top of a mountain, is called a peak. As a noun, it's called a peak, or you can say the percentages or the use of dietary supplements by children peaked at, and then describe the at almost, or the percentage approximately 25%. So you can say a peak or reached a peak. The percentage of children taking dietary supplements was at its highest level in August. Highest level means peak, so it's the same. Or you can say supplement use peaked at close to approximately 25% in August. Don't forget to also include the period of time. This is an increase here, and it's the type of increase is similar to the type of increase here. So here we said a sharp increase or significant increase here, and here we're going to say a dramatic or sharp or significant fall or decrease or drop. So we can say between August and October this figure dropped dramatically to 11%, or from August to October there was a drop of 14% in the percentage of children taking dietary supplements. Between August and October there was a considerable fall in the percentage of children using supplements. So try to use a variety of words, variety of vocabulary, as well as a variety of grammar. The last change shown here is also a decrease, but it's a little bit different than this one, because this one is a sharp, significant, huge, dramatic decrease, but this one we can call a slight, steady, gradual, gentle, slow decrease, or a downward trend. To express the sentence, you can use these words to describe the change, and you can use these words as adjectives or adverbs to describe the type of change. For example, we can say between October and December, the decrease in the use of dietary supplements was at a much slower pace, or was a gradual decrease, than in the previous 2 months. You can also say supplement use continued to fall steadily over the next 2 months until it reached its lowest point in December. Lowest point. And this is a sample answer for you guys to describe the information we talked about. You can read it and you can learn or use some of the words, some of the phrases in a different line graph. The word count here is 172 words. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in a new lesson. Thank you.